Saaiman, he is the favorite, or not favorite betting wise, but I think in the perception, I think he's the favorite coming into this matchup. I think people are completely discounting Christian Rodriguez, and the South African is going to try to come in here and put on a display like he has with all of these other fighters. Only problem is, AJ, don't cheat, don't look. Any notable name that Cameron Saaiman has defeated in his UFC tenure?
Man, the only one that comes to mind is that last Mitchell fight, Terrence Mitchell. But even then, that's not notable to everybody else. It's just because I saw it about 2 minutes ago when I looked. So,
but that's the point.
Derek, no.
That's the point, is that Terrence Mitchell, I'm not saying that this is not a talented fighter whatsoever, but you got fed to Raul Rosas and then got knocked out by, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, that's your most notable win. Christian Rodriguez, once again, you cannot sit here and discount that his biggest win to date is against that same guy. So it's not like we're discounting that. Really, what I'm saying is that if you look at the Joshua Weems fight, the JP3 fight, that's experience that I think Cameron Saaiman has yet to face. Christian Rodriguez got ragdolled by JP3, my man, Jonathan Pierce, but he had bright moments. And I think if you're hanging with that level of opposition, and that's literally your only loss in your UFC career, your MMA career, excuse me, I think it's going to be a really competitive fight against Cameron Saaiman. And I think that even though he's a -150 favorite at open, he's barely moved up to -155 right here. I think you cash in on Christian Rodriguez personally. What do you think?
100%, Derek. I mean, we saw in that Rosas fight, we're going to have to start calling Christian Rodriguez the hype snatcher or something, because that's exactly it, man. We saw him go in there and outwork Rosas in what Rosas does best, and I expect the exact same thing, because Saaiman, man, this guy is a great grappler. He does have good fundamental striking, but what I didn't like about it, man, he stands a little tall, he stands a little long, and yeah, he's a lengthy fighter, so he can do that, he can get away with it. But with a guy with Rodriguez that has the power he does and the pressure he does, and as well as the defensive wrestling skills we saw him put on display, I think this is going to be a hell of a fight for Saaiman to actually get done. What do you think?
Man, the thing I like most about Christian Rodriguez in this matchup is just the composure. That's it, man. And I think if he could bring that against Cameron Saaiman, yeah, he can give him a lot of problems. But you're right. I don't want to sit here and discount Cameron Saaiman like he's not a talented fighter. Like, he clearly is. He clearly has a lot of promise, and they want to make him the next thing. And I think he can be that, because if he wins against Christian Rodriguez, you have officially absolutely earned my respect. Like, you're okay. You're a problem a little bit. You know what I mean? But once again, this is one of those spots where if you're looking just from a pure grappling perspective, Cameron Saaiman has had his best moments in these fights kind of in those grappling spots. I don't think Christian Rodriguez gives you that ability. Now, if this fight stays standing only, who do you give the edge to?
I actually give it to Rodriguez too, Derek. I think he's a little slicker in there. He has more power. What I don't like about Saaiman is he looks like a fighter who is still learning how to use his body. I'm excited for the Saaiman that's going to be fighting when he's, 25, 26? How old is this kid now? Must be 22. Yeah, 22, 23. I'm excited for that 25, 26-year-old Cameron Saaiman who's filled out a little bit, maybe in a weight class above, knows how to use that man strength once he grows into it. Because right now, I hate saying the word baby giraffe, but that's what it kind of gives me, those vibes, that long, lanky, still really kind of putting together the body mechanics behind it. When Saaiman does that, he's going to be a killer. But right now, I give the edge to Rodriguez. What do you think, Derek?
And I mean, Rodriguez isn't too much older, man. He's only 25 years old himself, but he does look a little more mature in his fighting capacities, just what he's put on display. And like I said, I think the composure is a big part of what makes that maturity factor go right there, just because, like, when I see him, man, I'm like, dude, you look like you've been here. You look like none of this phases you. And I think that mentality is going to propel him to a victory here. It's just a matter of how does it get done. Lots of submissions, man. Anacondas. You're looking at just club and subs, rear naked chokes, arm bars. Like, he's kind of did it all here, man. What do you see coming out of the Christian Rodriguez camp right here? A submission, a TKO? What do you think?
Man, I think actually, Derek, this might be the boring answer for the fans out there, but I think it's a decision. I think with the skill that Saaiman presents on the ground, Christian Rodriguez, as skilled as he is going to want to avoid that as much as possible, because all it takes is one slip up, you're in a triangle, you're in something dangerous out of the Saaiman camp. I think he's going to fare better on the feet, fare better in the defensive wrestling, the avoidance of the takedown, and really work for a knockout. Hopefully he can get it, but I think the decision's most likely right here. What about you?
Yeah. I mean, if it's not a submission, I'd probably go decision on this one. Here's the thing, man. I'm not counting out Cameron Saaiman in this fight. Even though I'm heavy leaning Christian Rodriguez here, there is a part of me inside my heart that I'm like, Saaiman can fucking win this fight, man. He's winning all these other fights. Like, why can't he win this fight? But the wager within me says you got to go on the minus money. Christian Rodriguez, it's minus 150. It's really not too crazy. Minus 155 currently. You can still get a good one here. Do you think this one goes over 2.5 rounds?
I do actually, Derek. I do think this one. I'm still rocking with that all the way. What about you? Think it's over and under?
It's tough, man. Minus 175 for over 2.5 rounds, but that negates any real finishes because you have to get that finish in the last minute and a half, the last 2 minutes of the fight. I'm gonna rock the under. I'm going to take the under. I'm going to go for a finish. Give me the finish. We're cashing in. Plus 450 submission victory. Christian Rodriguez under 2.5 rounds. You heard it here first, folks. And that is another Bloody Water Podcast consensus pick.